I do like that suggestion of yours for Legion Commander.
Hey, they
Could
don't
even
have
make
many.
it
They don't
LC
have
mid.
many options. That's why it's difficult.
Necro.
What? But Enchantress kind of counters Necro too because you can dispel the Ghost Shroud.
Yeah, and Techies does a gazillion magic damage.
Yeah. I mean, so I feel like he's also terrible against bad, you know? He's only good against the DK in the lane. He's only good for the lane, you know? This freaking pick is only good for the lane.
Yeah, well, Necro has been making a bit of a resurgence during the Dream League tournament, so maybe they.
Don't tell me you're supposed to buy Radiance on the hero this game.
Nah, it's Guardian Greaves. I assume
Pipe.
Guardian Greaves game.
Pipe? Maybe not Pipe.
Yeah,
Let's get a hood.
I mean, Pipe is pretty good. Techie's Batrider, just
Greaves
only
game.
magic
Pipe?
damage pretty much on their part.
Maybe not
DK
Pipe.
later,
Yeah,
of course, does physical I as mean, well, Pipe but in the beginning is also with the Fireball does magic damage primarily, so. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, it's over. It's over. Nah, I like this lineup is disgusting. Batrider offlane mid tinker. No, HellRaisers have won this. I don't know how you win against that lineup.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with you. I'm with the Tinker, man. But I feel like the Tinker it might be the least of their problems, you know. I feel like the Batrider and Techies could be like a huge issue.
Batrider Techies against
they don't have
SF
any good ways of dealing with the Batrider. Their supports are terrible. Like Undying doesn't do jack shit against Batrider in the lane. Oh my god, it's Undying Shadow Fiend against what Batrider Techies. I feel like that lane could be very disastrous for them. And then the other side lane will be Rubik, Necroforce against DK Enchantress. I mean, sure, the Necroforce will be good against DK in the lane, but Ench is pretty strong, you know, so I feel like DK might be able to just do okay in that lane. And then lastly, we have the Tinker against Tiny lane. I feel like I haven't seen this lane a lot, so I'm not entirely sure, but I want to say that Tinker will have some advantage.
I mean, he can die. We saw Stormstormer on the Tiny specifically do a lot yesterday, give a bunch of rapiers away. That was slightly less fortunate. But nonetheless, he did look really comfortable on the hero. However, like, HellRaisers have just... You know when you're playing pubs and you don't want to play the game after seeing the enemy's lineup? That's their lineup. They've got a Techies, they've got a Batrider offlane, they've got a Tinker. Like, there's nothing fun about this game. Nothing.
What are they actually missing? They need one more they're actually missing like some Venno hero. If they're Venno, Tinker, Batrider, Techies. Okay.
I mean, even Enchantress is hell to lane against. Oh, and in this case, like, Ramses can be, of course, the carry, but it doesn't matter too much because they have Tinker who can solo carry the game at that point as well. They have very little catch for the Tinker this game. They've got the Tiny, they've got the Rubik Lift, but Reaper Scythe, Requiem of Souls.
Oh yeah, I feel like Stormstormer cannot be too greedy this game, you know. Like the last time we saw him, he actually had he built like Echo Saber first before Blink. This game I feel like he needs to rush Dagger. You get your trades bottle and you have to buy Dagger right away. If he tries to go greedy, I feel like his team is gonna struggle a lot. Because your side lanes are SF and Necrophos, you know. You have to play a little bit more sacrificial if you're a Tiny.
What kind of okay, so I'm looking at Ramses thinking, what items is he gonna go for? Do you think Radiance or is he gonna go for the more
does
aggressive?
it matter, man? This game he could literally win without having to do anything, you know. The Batrider, Techies, and Tinker trio, and even the Ench can just win the game on themselves, you know. And the DK will be like, what? Yesterday we had like a carry that didn't do anything. Oh yeah, it was Watson's Naga Siren. So it could be one of those games where the carry is just he might not need to lift a finger this game, you know. But we'll have to see how the early game goes. If Entity somehow they're able to stabilize and do well in the lanes, then I could see them having a chance to win the game. But if they can't even do okay in the lanes, then I feel like this game could be over very quickly.
They do have like Shadow Fiend plus Tiny is a lot of physical damage though, and if as you mentioned they have good times in the lanes, it could be pretty scary. We saw yesterday Watson on that SF specifically completely dominate the game.
Yeah, but this game he's not gonna have the same kind of laning phase. So I feel like Tekis and Bad Rider is stronger than the lane yesterday. Can't remember the heroes, but yeah, this lane is
It
quite
was a
tricky, you know.
Doom plus Rubik, I think, off lane
Yeah,
duo.
level 2 they can easily kill you. Once the best level 2, they will always have kill threat on the SF, and you have to be very very careful. You know, you have to play very defensive. You need to be always aware about where's your positioning on the lane. And you know the Undying, he can't really stop them from killing the SF, you know, because you don't have a stun.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem in the entire entity lineup. They don't have really, reliable stuns. Kiyotaka is gonna feel immortal this game. The question is, of course, what kind of build is Kiyotaka gonna go for? We saw yesterday, like the Dagon build, it was against a Terrorblade, so that made a little bit more sense. But do you expect a Shiva's Tinker to come out this time, or back to Dagon shenanigans?
Shiva sounds good against the SF. It's pretty good against the Necro. You can stop some of his regen. So I think I vote Shivas. No Dagon, please. Unless he's really owning like so hard, you know, then you can okay, whatever, you know, you can just buy what you want.
Well, Toby, you've got that Necro last pick. Make it work.
I think he's having
Show
a
us
good
what
time.
what it's meant to do. Meet your app now.
I mean, when does he start dominating the lane? I guess when he starts getting 3 and 4 levels, that's the lane. That's when the lane becomes hard for the DK. But I feel like the DK should be able to survive. You know, you just get more points in your Dragon Blood, and you get you just send maybe an extra regen, extra tangles. I feel like he should be able to still hold his ground in the lane and just farm. You know, I don't know if the Necrophos can actually totally bully the DK out of the lane.
Hero's actually struggling in last hitting. Obviously, Bat Rider's attack damage is horrible, especially compared to an SF, and the attack animation ain't too superb either.
Yeah, and because Undying is the Undying factor as well. Like level 1, they're stronger. Like now level 2, but the Bat Rider still hasn't decided what skill to take. But they definitely can kill the SF in the lane. And you drop the sticky bomb and the blast off, they have more than enough damage to kill the SF from full HP. As long as there's at least like the three stacks, you know, of napalm on Watson.
Yeah, and the mid lane is Storm needs a bottle refill. Right now.
He's doing pretty good on the Tiny though. Looking at the CS.
True. So it needs to be very careful of that laser pure damage that can be zoomed out, and doesn't want to give away first blood. Fishman's taking 5 sticky napalm stacks, while bottom lane first blood gets secured. So they're a little bit of a nuisance on 2 lanes. Centaur Stomp, Toby loves it. Oh, yeah, Enchantress, you monster.
They have so much damage. Centaur stun to initiate, and then Ramses was able to follow up with the stun. They just have more than enough to kill the Rubik from full to 0, you know? I mean, and she's just such an annoying hero in the lane, you know, when he gets all these annoying creeps. Oh!
Toby dragged back.
Toby?
There was no DK stun, he used it previously.
Yeah, they would have actually killed him, I think, if he had stun.
Well, the plus side is, of course, that Katomi died, so he refreshed the bottle of Stormstormer. And he'll be able to live a little bit longer in that mid lane. Upside, Fishman just only regen in his inventory. 4 more mangoes and a magic stick. Does finally have a win day, so he's slightly faster to outrun the Bat Rider. By God, he does need. I'm actually surprised that they haven't even attempted it yet on Hellraisers for a possible kill.
Yeah, they actually haven't even tried to go on them, you know. It's not like they made any aggressive attempts, you know. They're playing the lane very defensively. Miro is just focused on farming. Antares has been just like trying to pull the wave and get his levels. They're not really like trying to commit for any kills, you know. That's rather strange, you know. If you're playing Bear Rider plus Takis, you don't want to hit creeps, you want to kill heroes.
Yeah, Watson's loving it. Hasn't had any big fears yet. Miro is the one that's actually bottom of the cores by a significant margin. Ramses with first blood at the top, not too surprising. Actually, Toby doesn't really do much to harm Ramses whatsoever. Solo even has a point in wisps for the extra heal. I don't think you can ever bully Ramses out of his lane.
Yeah, I don't feel like this counter pick is like kicking the DK out of the lane. You know? Maybe the idea is just about like, okay, Necro is good later with the Reaper side to kill the DK. You know? But in the lane, I feel like the DK is like totally ignoring the Necro. He doesn't really care.
Double damage techies. And
oh,
kill there.
That's so sad, being killed by a double damage techies right click.
Hero has like the worst auto attack damage in the game. Gets a DD, does slightly more. So 1k net with lead now for HellRaisers towards mid. Katomi was considering possibly making a play on Kiyotaka, but Stormstormer doesn't even have the mana for his combo.
Oh, they're going on Watson. Finally.
What? Dropping low, Tombstone gets dropped. Miro, he's actually going to die, but Watson, is he going to burn? Right click is enough. And Terry's with the kill.
The right click, man. Fear the right click of the techies.
I mean, there was, yeah, he still has that level 25 talent of 252 attack damage added.
That's a meme talent, man.
Obviously, but it's still cool that like they have it in the game, which makes no sense. I'm already happy that they don't have like those moving mines from back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Those are so obnoxious. For Toby right now, he has Arcane Boots up, so he has mana to constantly spam, so he starts to be able to bully the Dragon Knight, the Rubik and the Necroforce both spamming together. Oh, he's not going to buy Radiance this game, he's rushing Blink into BKB. I kind of like it because you have Tinker, you know. Tinker is kind of like already pretty greedy, so you don't want to be too greedy. You just want to be able to play with the Tinker timings. When Tinker gets Blink, you want to have Blink so you can just run around the map, kill people together.
Guarding the runes, and it's going to be bottom. It's an illusion rune, so Stormstormer can at least fill his bottle. Illusion's pretty nice because, of course, the laser blind is annoying, and right-click damage from Tiny is pretty immense, so you could possibly get a kill onto Kiyotaka if he makes a mistake, but Kiyotaka is so very close to his blink that it won't harm too much. Fishman is in trouble. Tombstone on the high ground. In comes Watson. Does not have Requiem of Souls. Can level it, though, if need be, but Antares is going to disengage. Miro tries to quickly get rid of the Tombstone and get the extra cash. Watson's just in the area to make sure that that does not happen. Though the zombies are pretty immense chasing after Miro.
Gotcha.
Nonetheless, Watson doesn't really have any catch, which is the big problem there. And bottom lane, Toby takes down Ramses with the Scythe kill. However, I see a Tinker TPing in. He's got that blink. Toby's not the highest HP. Laser zap comes through. Toby, you can't even go. Actually, you can go shard. The shot was used. But the moment you use it, you take a significant amount more magic damage. Stormstorm with the TP back. Yutaka being chased. Got the Omi. Do they have the lockdown? Lift up. Drag back. Stormstormer. The zap comes through. They find Kiyotaka, which is a huge kill. Solo, though, continuing forward more. And with the Ramses TP in, Solo should not falter. But honestly, it's not that bad for Entity, considering it ended in a 2-for-2 trade with that initial kill onto the DK.
Yeah, but losing the Necro there kind of sucks too for them. But Necro is still like the top net worth hero for Entity. He's building a mech. He needs to be able to keep snowballing. You know, this hero does not do well if you get picked off too much in the early game.
Speaking of which,
going on Toby again.
Kiyotaka. Okay, nice lift up, keeps them at bay. I mean, that's the problem with Tinker, right? He's going to be everywhere. All the time.
Yeah, and he also realizes that, okay, if I actually ruin Necro's game, the game will become significantly easier for the ex-HR side, you know. Like, the Necro is going to be the biggest problem right now, you know. SF is not a problem yet. He's going to be a problem later on, but they have to deal with the Necro first, stop him from snowballing too much.
It's actually a pretty good Lotus game as well, and Necro is a Lotus builder. So maybe that could be an item later down the line against the Bat Rider Lasso, the Silence from the Techies, Tinker.
Yeah, after your mech and pipe, I guess you can buy Lotus. I mean, you want to get the shard too, right? I guess you get mech and you pipe, and maybe you get your shard first, then you get the Lotus.
Ooh, Stormstormer's got Echo queued up.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, I don't really like that. I'll be honest.
He did do. He bought the Echo yesterday as well and did really well with it.
Yeah, every game is different. Just because he worked yesterday doesn't mean
I
it's gonna be
know,
good
but
today.
yesterday we also wanted him to go for the blink first, and he also said nah, and it worked. I mean, they lost, but
I mean, the game was so hard, you know, because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it was because of him, but the game was really hard in this early stages. And now Miro is here.
big
Bat Rider.
fight. Bat Rider control. He doesn't actually have lasso level just yet, but Kiyotaka on the side just spamming magic upon magic is the biggest nuisance alive. They don't really have any long range catch, but there is a Rubik spamming sticky napalm stacks the entire time, so a lot of extra damage on Solo, and he will be taken down in the end. Kiyotaka cannot keep his ally alive. Sticky napalm on Rubik's a weird steal all the time.
Dire's top tower
Does give
is
good
under
vision
attack.
though, especially against like
Radiant's
Tinker
middle
in the
tower
trees.
is under
It's
attack.
broken, man. You have the cast range with sticky napalm, dude. It's so
Radiant's
so
bottom
fucking
tower
imba.
is under attack.
And it's constant ticks of damage as well. Now that sticky napalm is not terrible.
Dire's top tower
Yep.
And
So
turn
Ramses-
rates reduction is also really hard to deal with. I think that's one of the most annoying things about sticky napalm.
It depends which hero are you.
Dire's top
If
tower
you are a
is
hero
under
that has terrible turn rate, like some Jack hero, then you'll feel it more, you know, or SF.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Speaking of SF, Watson, he did die once, second in net worth, but Ramses is at the top. He's got a Blink Dagger or BKB queued up. He's at 2.7k right now in his bank account. Right, that's a really rich DK. He could even go for
Is
Radiance.
under attack. Radiant's middle tower
I mean, he's
is
actually
I
really
mean,
close to
is-
Sacred Relic if he
he-
wants.
are
Is he
fortified.
actually considering it? Yeah, I guess he might be considering it because he's not buying his blink.
Could also just go for BKB first item, which I guess is a possibility. They are getting aggressive here on the side of Entity,
Radiant's middle tower is
closing
fortified.
up the map to tier 1 towers
the
taken down.
ball is online with the mech on Necroforce and the SF. I mean, I feel like ex-HellRaisers has to be careful about not being too greedy with the items. You know, if they try to be a little bit too greedy, they might lose a lot of the map and the Roshan. Right, not the worst kill to give away.
Played me long enough.
You do have to be careful because they take Roche pretty quickly with Tombstone, Flesh Golem, and of course the Shadow Fiend's right-click damage.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he should just be less greedy, you know. By playing BKB, don't go Radiance. What did he buy? He bought something. Oh yeah, he's buying BKB. Good.
Oh, lasso onto Toby mid. It does kind of nothing. He's not even forced to pop his mech. He sees a regen rune on the side. Okay. That could go to Stormstorm, but they're
Oh,
gonna
he
go
went
in onto
blink
Miro.
first.
There is no lasso indeed. Stormstormer got that blink first, but the jump in from the Techies trying to get the damage through. Watson with a great Requiem of Souls. And there's dropping low. The zombies almost finish him off, but the zap from Kataomi because he is not going to share any money with his Undying. Speaking of which, Undying is going to get dragged back by the Wild Wing Ripper. One more right click, Fishman. Oh, the smoke! The smoke save. Fishman gets himself out of there. And they will disengage. Actually, tossback coming through, and the Enchantress Holo gets caught out. And you know, you called it. Blink is pretty useful. Stormstormer went for it, and he made it work. A big double kill.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy that he's deciding not to go for the greedy build. He needs to be able to help the SF and the Necroforce play the game because none of them have stuns. So this is a good adjustment, and he's gonna find another one. Alright, he's dead. DK stun.
Or is he
Oh,
Miro?
never mind.
Staying alive. Katomi too far away. Miro does disengage. Stormstormer walking back in, has the blink available. They're trying to chase after Toby, who's taking a lot of damage. I mean, Ghost Shroud is very scary to use against a Tinker plus Techies. Avalanche toss. Ramses does not take any damage whatsoever. Now Stormstormer is in trouble. Watson doesn't have the Rec Room available. He's actually farming right next to Stormstormer. His buddy is about to get mauled, but Watson, I could get some free creeps here. A real position one's mindset.
So they traded 2 kills, and right now the biggest item for me is like the blink on DK. Once the DK has blink, because Bear Rider is rushing BKB, so nobody can really initiate apart from the blink on the DK. Once the blink is online, I feel like they can just up the pace of the game a lot and just take the map. If they get some kills, some good kills, maybe they could even go Roshan. So the next couple of minutes are going to be important.
Oh, pass back play. Ramses in trouble, but Nader's
Nice
got the
suicide.
shard. Oh, Gatomi got stunned up. He's going to get finished off by Ramses. Looking for more Fishman in his big golem form. Cannot get out of there. Stormstorm is slowly being chased by Miro. Does have a blink, but can he get it off?
Lasso.
The problem is the sticky napalm spam.
Nice
Did not
toss.
damage. Nice Rec Room toss combination. Reaper as well. And they find Miro, but Ramses with the double damage is still lurking about on the side. Toby.
Tinker's
trying to
back.
heal up. Can they get anything going here? Stormstormer with the toss upwards, but then there's with the 2-man stun comes through. Ramses as well, charging forward the attacker. Tinker spam laser on top. Toby gets crushed. Honestly, Antares is doing so much nasty work with that shard already. Like the first 2 appearances of it, and makes it happen for ex-HellRaisers.
And what do you expect, man? You gave away the man's best hero.
Yeah. Sometimes you, not sometimes, you gotta do respect bans. It's just the, don't go for like pure, oh no, this is a meta hero ban. No, if someone is an expert on a hero, you ban it.
You do not fear the man who can play 1,000 heroes, right? You fear the man who plays 1 hero 1,000 times.
Yeah, exactly. Just like we heard 33 yesterday. You don't know how to play Beastmaster, play it 50 times. If you still don't know how to play it 50 more times.
Bro,
Keep repeating the cycle.
at least he didn't say 1,000 times, you know. It gives me hope that I can still learn the hero.
Never. Solo being chased, but he's got level 3 Wisp, so it's a problem. Lasso onto Fishman, dragged back to the low ground. His teammates can't help him. They are desperately in need of BKBs as well, soon enough on the side of Entity, but that's going to take a while because none of them are even starting it just yet.
Wait, what? Nobody's buying BKB yet?
I mean,
SF
Stormstormer needs to
SF
first get the Echo.
Okay,
into the
maybe
BKB.
not the maybe not the tiny, but SF should be buying BKB. He's buying Manta first against this lineup. On the hut. Against Techies, you don't want to buy BKB.
Oh, Ramsey's tossed back, but Watson not Requiem looks already. It comes and carries. Nice lift up from Kataomi still.
Oh my god.
Watson taking so much damage.
What
there.
damage is that? What the hell? He
That
did
is
like what?
Techies, bro.
1,500 damage at least?
Yeah, he places that little
How much?
minefield sign
Oh,
so
no,
you can't
he
see
did
the
like
mines.
he did like close to 2,000 damage there.
That's on 2 targets while there was no one else to distract the enemy. If he got all of his bombs off there, that would have been insane damage. Stormstormer charging for more, but doesn't get the catch, and now they need to dip. They're just being toyed with. It's hard. You cannot get the catch going on these ex-HellRaisers. Psychiatak has got a Shivas now available as well. So he's got that vision, slow, the damage. It's a pure nuisance.
I mean, they don't really have a good way of dealing with the Tinker now. The Tinker is a huge problem right now. I feel like you can't even wait for the Tiny. You can't even say like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the Tinker, you know, because nobody else can initiate with this lineup. I mean, you're gonna wait for the Rubik to lift somebody without Blink? It's probably not gonna happen, you know. So the Tiny has to do so much, you know. He needs to initiate a fight. He needs to catch the Tinker. Oh my god, too much work for one hero.
Yeah, you kind of need Stormstormer this game. Like, the Tiny needs to be a pulse forward with a blink. Because you're going to jump in, and then you're probably going to die. And you should be okay with dying, but considering he's a mid lane, you're not okay with him dying for, you know, Bat Rider tossback. Because the Tinker's not going to be in range. And even if you catch the Tinker, they've got the DK with Blink, they've got Techies with that shard.
Stormer.
Jump in. Stormer is taking a heap of damage from Antares, and Fishman is on the run. Can he get out of there? Ramses, is the damage going to be enough? No, it is not. Antares even gets himself the tombstone. Look at that rich Techies catching up to Stormer.
And this guy is so annoying on techies, man. I would not want to play against his techies, you know. Just let him play Skyrim, let him play Rubik, you know. I don't want him to play techies.
Just let Rubik through so that he picks Rubik and doesn't go for Techies.
I mean,
They
honestly,
first phase picked up that
I
Rubik.
honestly would just do that, you know. I would not give him his techies. So right now, I feel like those, okay, BKB, Lesso, Toby's on the play.
Yeah.
Hey,
What can you do?
guys?
Solo's just...
No.
Solo.
Where are the heroes that can kill them? None of them are nearby.
Ooh, Solo in trouble, but... Toby's just chilling on the high ground. He can't get off. They do have a 4-step available on the Rubik, though.
Oh, Rubik has the Philly Stone, your favorite item of the game. So the Rubik's gonna be rich. But can he carry the game? Probably not.
Nah, it's 9k net with lead now. Kitaka top net.
Yeah,
worth.
it really sucks when you're playing with this like 5-man lineup with Undying, Necroforce, SF, and then you can't push because there's a pesky Tinker around the map, and then you can't fight into the techies. Like if your lineup cannot fight against the enemies lineup with a ball, there's not much you can do with your heroes.
They're going in. Catch on to Solo.
Oh my god, I can't even kill Solo. Serious?
Yeah, he's like nicely healing up. Finally does get taken down. On the side though, Techies blows up Toby. I mean, obviously their core is involved in that situation as well, but I'm sticking with Techies blows up Toby.
I don't mind. I mean, Techies is doing a lot of work, you know, this game. He's such a annoying hero. Like they don't really have very good ways. Like for me, like if you're playing against Techies, you need to have a lot of heroes that can jump in to find him and kill him, you know. And they have to only rely on the tiny now, so it's pretty difficult, you know. And the Techies is not just their problem.
Ramses pops BKB, and he can just get away. He's almost done with his with his Aghanim Scepter on DK.
Yeah, good luck killing him then. Now, Tiny and Necro is gonna do so little.
Tinker's almost got his BKB. How are you going to kill the Tinker at that stage? They have no BKB piercing anything on their lineup.
Yeah, I feel like this game is just so hard for Entity right now. Like they don't really have a lot of options on how to play the game. They have to just grind it out, and hopefully they win like one big team fight at least at the Roche Pit. I think the Roche Pit is the best bet, you know, with the Tombstone right now with how things are going.
So Kataomi gets caught. I guess if he steals Lasso, you have a BKB piercing spell, but
Yeah, okay. Sure. So
gotta take the good with the bad.
they need the Rubik to be like some Superman Rubik, right, to win the game.
Every Rubik needs to be a Superman Rubik. I mean, you got to steal every possible big spell. In this case, I guess
Why not?
stealing the shards,
Why not?
The blast off from Techies is pretty nice with Rubik. You jump
Why
into
not
your
just
death.
have a draft where everybody can split the burden among 5 heroes, you know? Why not pick a lineup that's balanced so that you don't have to rely on 1 or 2 heroes in the draft to do everything?
Yeah, I don't think they even considered the fact that, you know, Cheese could come out as a last pick on the Tinker. Like, I mean, it makes sense because Miro also plays Batrider off lane, but I didn't even consider the fact that Miro was going to play Batrider. Whereas it would make a lot of sense because the lane was really good for him, even though...
Yeah. Undying Shadowfiend, that's a lane Batrider loves to play. Not sure he didn't really win his lane, but he did okay. And then he was constantly annoying to all their heroes, you know. Tiny, SF, all their heroes are just bad against Batrider in the game, you know. It's not just about the lane, you know. Like Sticky Napalm owns their heroes.
And you've got Ramses, who honestly does not give it. Like, they first phase picked DK safe lane because they care absolutely zero about what the enemy picks. They pick Timbersaw, he wins the lane. They pick Necrophos, he wins the lane. Like, obviously he did die once, but who cares about dying once if you still come out ahead in terms of net worth and experience?
I am actually sold right now on this DK hero.
Still boring, but it's
I mean,
good.
it's boring, but you want to win, you know. Yeah, I know it's boring, but winning matters the most.
Dire's top tower is under
That's
attack.
why I do not recommend
Radiant's
Timbersaw, even though
bottom tower is under
Timbersaw is a
attack.
fun hero.
I
Because he
mean,
doesn't win.
Timber did win that game, and he looked really good on
Yeah,
it as
how
well.
many games did he win?
But that specific game he won, okay? And he looked really good doing it. He was very impactful.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Right,
Oh,
mid
but
lane.
Toby
Lasso.
is very, very dead.
Like, he can't do anything, you know, as Echo. You feel very bad when your team cannot ball together and push as a unit.
It's just
Radiant's
waiting
bottom
until
tower
it's
is under
it's
attack.
like finished, right? Like, is there an item or something that they can help them? BKB, is that going to be
Dire's
the
top
answer?
tower is under attack.
Tiny's actually going for Ags. Stormstormer is not going BKB. He's gonna
No.
go for the Hail Mary
Dire's
bombardment
middle
of
tower is
trees.
under attack.
He needs the axe and the crit. Like, the axe alone is not gonna cut it. He needs that, and then he needs his level 20 talent. So he does more damage. I mean, it's very tough now, you know. I'm trying to figure out how they can somehow win the game. Or at least have a chance in the game. And I don't know, like, they lost the Aegis. I feel like the Rush Pit would have been a decent place to contest with Tombstone, but now that is already done and dusted, so you can't even do that. It's just waiting in your high ground. You know, I don't
I mean,
feel like
that's always a nice one. A high ground defense. You got a Tiny. You have a force
Yeah,
staff
but
on.
are you
Rubik.
even outscaling them? You know?
No, but it's a way to at least kill them once. Toby's gonna get jumped here, looking to run away, but the chase is there, the damage as well. It's a nasty little tombstone drop, but what does it really matter? They do lose Antares in the process. Miro up on the high ground. He's trying to push Stormstormer closer towards him. He's gonna go for the TPO. Stormstormer slowly but surely being chipped away, but in comes Kiyotaka. After being back to base to regen his mana, he just blows the rest of them up. Triple kill comes out for Ramses on that DK with the... actually, he didn't even use Elder Dragon form for that fight. He was in his normal DK form because he didn't have it. He gets a triple kill.
Dire's top tower is under
And now he has his true form.
Big ol', he's also now level 18, so that's probably why he didn't use it, because then he'd only get level 3 DK, the blue dragon. Now he has black dragon.
Radiant structures are
Because he actually got Ags before he got level 18.
top tower is under attack.
That's actually kind of remarkable. Oh, Toby dragged back, stunned up. Yeah, this game is done. Watson has a BKB, so at least survives for a little bit longer, but maybe with the tiny volley, if they perfectly group up together, hug each other.
You're just telling me, oh, they need a 5-man black hole to win the game. Entirely
Pretty much.
possible. It's totally possible.
Yeah, just Gatomi, is there a good steal he could make? I mean, again, it's he needs to steal the blast off, have the shard, get a 5-man stun, and then in comes the Requiem of Souls combination with the tree volley, I believe.
I'm sorry, I do not. I just hate to break it down to you, you know.
Keep it PMA, keep it BSJ, bro.
Is under attack.
Come on. Have a little faith in them, Katomi.
That's not what I learned in SCA pubs.
Oh, tree volley, damage, Requiem of Souls. There's 2 of the combo coming through. They already found themselves solo. Ramses does have that Aegis for another 10 seconds. But in comes Antares from the side, gets the stun. No way out for Watson here. Ramses slowly chasing down
Ramses,
the Aegis.
he
is
doesn't
about to
know.
expire.
He doesn't know.
Oh,
He doesn't know.
It's perfectly
He's not trying to
timed
run.
out. They get the kill on Tamiro as well. Kiyotaka jumps in. Can they kill off Kiyotaka? He's actually looking for more. BKB is close to ending. He has a scythe actually on the Tink already done. But my god, that scythe, that combination from Entity was so freaking on point. It was actually kind of nuts. Some sort of comes in for the Antares kill. Solo's dropping low. Toby charging forward. But in comes Kiyotaka. Zap, zap, laser boy to charge for more. Solo needs a way out. He is hiding behind the tree. Behind the little cliff, he even gets the kill on the Fishman. Solo, the Chad, will eventually get taken down. Gems
Oh
on
my
deck.
god.
but Kiyotaka is back, so they need to run away, and he gets the Hex onto Watson. No way out of there. The gem even could be recovered. I mean, they did so much, but the only one they need to really kill is that Tinker.
Alright, let's be real. The fight cannot get any better for Entity right there. They played a really, really good fight. They killed DK when his Aegis expired, and they still couldn't win the fight.
Yeah, and now topside, Stormstormer. Honestly, with Scythe on Tinker, like, there's nowhere you can walk on this map anymore, especially solo.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
that's the
talking about
problem,
here.
right? I mean, you have a lineup. That's why I feel like, okay, sure, you know, in one perspective, you can say that, oh, the Tinker is like the overall last pick, so there's not much you can do about it. But I always say, you know, when you're drafting, you need to make sure your draft ticks a lot of boxes so that you can account for things that you don't see. So their draft, because they have an off-lane Necroforce, so it puts them into a position where they're very susceptible to all these like very annoying heroes, you know, like a Storm or slippery hero like Tinker, you know, because you don't have enough disable, so you can't catch those heroes. And sure, I mean, you can blame them, or they should have known, you know, they should have banned the hero. But then again, you know, I feel like sometimes certain heroes are gonna get through the draft, and you need to have a draft that's capable of dealing against as many things as possible, you know. You don't want a draft that, oh, the draft can only be good in the lane, then after that, that's it, you know.
I guess, I mean, you mentioned it previously, like the Death Ball idea that could have worked on their part if they had like really good lanes. They can take towers pretty quickly, group up,
Yeah,
die, plus Necro
I
is
feel
scary.
like they probably overestimated how strong Necro is against DK. And they think that Necro can just demolish the lane, and then you can just group out around the Necro because he's gonna
It
have
used
a
to be a
fast...
counter as well in like the
Yeah.
mid lane matchup. So,
But apparently not anymore. I don't know if the Enchantress skilled the matchup a lot because Ench is really strong. in
yeah,
the lane.
I think Solo did a lot this game, especially in that lane. Like with the Centaur creep, they got I think the kill first on
The double kill,
Rubik.
right? Yeah, the
Yeah,
double kill.
and then afterward, yeah, it was a kind of a disaster for them. And you can't even use Ghost Shroud at all because he just dispels it. And even if
I mean,
you use it, you take a ton of magic damage.
they already saw the Ench. Okay,
Oh,
they're sneaking
Stormstormer
behind.
is very dead, and that's the tree volley they need. Watson's BKB has been used. They just need to TP out, like right now.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Can they?
Oh, in comes Miro. Does not have the lasso. Watson gets to the low ground. Is going to go for the right click fight, but in comes the Dares with the jump. Watson, Requiem of Souls, fears them all back, or does he? No, he does not. It's the BKB DK on top, and it's the game won by HellRaisers. Honestly, like, yeah, that last pick completely destroyed everything for Entity. We could see it from a mile away that it would not go that well.
Yeah, it was. On the other hand, it's a very good game from HR. You know, they understood what they needed to do. Good drafting. You know, abusing the heroes with the drafts. I feel like whoever figured out how to draft played a huge role in the victory here for them. The draft definitely was a lot easier to play compared to Entity. And yeah, just good solid drafting, good plays, and just deserved the win.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, it was a little bit unfortunate. Well, not unfortunate. You know, Tinker's a nasty hero. There's a couple of cheese heroes still out there. Tinker's definitely one of them. You got to keep it in mind. They swapped the lanes. Miro can play, Miro could play DK. Miro could play the Bat Rider. They could even put Solo on the DK, which we've seen previously as well. They are the ultimate flex team, I believe, on that roster because everyone plays kind of we even saw DP being played by Solo previously. They lost that game, but he played DP previously in the tournaments as well. So, like, if you think you know what ex-HellRaisers is going to draft, you're probably wrong, Winter.
I don't need to care about what they draft, you know. I would just focus on what I want to pick, you know. I mean, they're flexing everything, you know. Why do I have to vote, use the draft time and think, oh, this guy's going to play +5 DK or what, you know. I just like, fuck it, you know. Just focus on structuring my own draft instead of like worrying about what they're going to do.
I'd still be worried about a Tinker in game number 2 and definitely about a
Ban
Techies.
techies.
Definitely about Techies. That
Yeah.
one needs to be banned every single time. I assume we're going to get a first phase ban of the Antares Techies this time around. But For that, we'll be going towards a short little break. We'll see